The X-Men cannot defeat Apocalypse. They failed at every opportunity to stop him, but Season 2, Episode 4 of X-Men 97 just revealed Apocalypse's greatest weakness, and a lot of people missed it. Spoilers ahead. So during the episode, Apocalypse is going after Pharaoh Rama-Tut, who is actually Kang the Conqueror, and Kang is able to escape safely to the future. But before he leaves, he tells his vizier Kandra that she has a greater destiny than all of this, and that Apocalypse's power can only be challenged by a force that is external. And he wasn't being metaphorical. If you remember from my last video talking about Apocalypse, you'll know that Apocalypse isn't just a mutant, he's a subspecies of these immortal mutants called externals. And this is a very rare subspecies of mutant because there's only 9 of them. There's a belief amongst the externals that there is a 10th external somewhere out there in the world, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. Now, these externals believe that each of them embody a concept on this thing called the Tapestry of the Infinite, which is this belief that describes time and destiny as a woven pattern of threads. One of these concepts is evolution. Guess which evil mutant embodies that one? With these beliefs, the externals like to band together and manipulate events behind the scenes, but on a global scale, giving them political and monetary control over the destiny of Earth. And what helps with that is that the externals share this telepathic link to their fellow externals, so they always know where each other are. So how is being an external a weakness for Apocalypse? It seems like it just makes him stronger. Well, you know how Apocalypse has been killed before, but somehow he always comes back? Well, that's because externals can only be truly killed by other externals, either by having their life force drained or having their heart eaten. Gross. And in Season 2, Episode 4 of X-Men 97, we meet the character Kandra. And guess what Kandra is? So in theory, the X-Men can team up with Kandra in order to kill Apocalypse. But there's a catch. See, when an external kills another external, they gain that external's power. So if Kandra were to kill Apocalypse, she would get all of his power. And in case you didn't know, Kandra is the leader of both the Thieves and Assassins Guild. So would you trust someone who is a leader of stealing and murder with Apocalypse's powers? Let's say the X-Men can trust Kandra and she does kill Apocalypse. Well, that's not the end of it. She would then have to hunt down the 8 other externals out there in the world in order to make Apocalypse's death permanent. Because for some reason, when an external is killed by another external, there's this unknown time limit that they have to eliminate all the other externals before they just come back to life. And if Apocalypse comes back to life, he'll get all of his powers back. And what makes this even harder is that the rest of the externals will immediately know when one of their own are murdered by a fellow external. So they're going to be much harder to catch, and the X-Men won't be able to get the jump on them. Another issue is the morality problem, because I feel like the X-Men will have no trouble killing Apocalypse, but hunting down the other externals to murder them? That might be harder, especially since it's believed that the 10th external is one of the X-Men, at least in the comics. Hold on, water break. I'm out of Waterloo. But despite all of those issues in trying to exploit Apocalypse's weakness, there is a possibility for success. Firstly, Charles Xavier can send X-Force to complete this mission. We all saw how X-Force took out the War Horsemen, so they'll have no problem doing all that dirty work if it means ending Apocalypse for good. And on top of that, they don't have to work with Kandra as their external to kill Apocalypse. Because like I mentioned earlier, in the comic books, the 10th external is believed to be one of the X-Men, specifically Cannonball. And at the time of this video, Cannonball is not a part of X-Men 97, but there is another character that was believed to be the 10th external, and he's a part of X-Men 97, Sunspot. If the show goes this direction and makes Sunspot the 10th external, then X-Force can use Sunspot to kill Apocalypse and the other externals. It would be a dark direction for the series to go, but it would be pretty cool. But what do you think? Will the externals be a major factor in defeating Apocalypse? And will Sunspot or Kandra be the X-Men's weapon to use against him? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, go ahead and pop your claws at the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you missed my previous video where I talked about the origins of Apocalypse, go ahead and click on the box right here, and I'll see you in a bit.